Welcome back to my channel, and this is chapter 65, Full House. Let's continue and see what it brings it on us. Now playing as Addy. The first night of winter break, I walked over to Noz, staring at texts he had sent me earlier. I had wanted to reach out to him, but I was so wrapped up in Elijah's betrayal, Mr. Kane's interest in my photograph, and the fact that I was very much in love with at least two people. It doesn't change anything, at least not yet. I reached Noz's address and tapped the door, and moments later, Addy, what are you doing here? You invited me, remember? Is now a bad time. Sorry, I couldn't come over sooner. Am I interrupting anything? No, not at all. It's just been a weird day. Come on in. I stepped inside and now peered up the street before closing the door and locking it again. Looking for something out there. It's just a precaution. Elijah still has his key, and as much as I don't think he had make his way back here, you never know. Believe it or not, I'm really happy to see you. Come on. Noah took my hand and I followed him down the hall and into a room at the far end, where he collapsed into a desk chair and he gestured for me to sit anywhere. Instead, I took a moment to look around. Oh, you didn't take me here last time I came over to your place? I was gonna. Your visit just unexpectedly got cut short. After all the hours I spent in your room during our tutoring sessions, I figured it was about time. I haven't been in too many guys' rooms. I was expecting more chaos. Sorry to disappoint you. Of course not, but are you sure you want me in here? You can tell a lot about a person from their room. I am an open book. What could you possibly find out that I wouldn't tell you? I circled his space. On his desk, Noah's journal had been left open and pinned to a clothesline. Above his bed were his most precious memories. Slowly, the pieces came together. Based on my experience with you, I know you are more of an introvert. You bottle things up and experience them internally, unless you are with someone you trust completely. His eyes met mine for just a split second before I smiled and turned toward the item that had caught my eye. Oh my god. And then there is this journal. And I scooped up his open journal from the text. I saw an off flinch. Still, he didn't move to take it from me. It's almost out of empty pages. You must have a lot on your mind. You could say that. You're holding my most private personal thoughts. Stuff I don't think I could ever say out loud. I closed it without reading a single word and put it back on his desk. But you trusted me enough to let me pick it up. Why wouldn't I? Almost every page is about you. Because you disarm people with blunt truth to show you have got nothing to hide, when really, this journal is proof of just how much you are holding back. I flopped down on his bed in triumph and shot him a smug smile. Well, how had I do? Not bad. Just admit it, I have got you totally baked. Maybe, but don't forget, I have seen your room too. I have learned a thing or two from our tutoring sessions. Care to share what you learned? Noah smirked as he rose from his chair and moved to join me on the bed. Entirely too much history and not nearly enough anatomy. But I think we can fix that if you want. Uh, I could use a crash course. Maybe we shouldn't. I don't want Hazel or your mom to walk in on us. Where are they anyway? Noah laid back on the mattress and stared at the ceiling, stone faced. Probably on the teacup ride at Fairyland Amusement Park. Don't worry though, they'll be back after the holiday. Wait, they just left you at Christmas. We had a disagreement. I told them to go without me. I don't care what happened. You can't stay here by yourself. The holidays are for spending time with family. Yeah, well, my family is a little meow at the moment. Being alone at Christmas would suck. He needed to be cared for, to be loved. He needed me. Without a word, I laid text to him, and after a moment's hesitation, he laid his head on my chest, a private gesture of comfort just between us. Then you can borrow mine. As a matter of fact, why don't you come over for dinner? My dad makes an amazing roast. Yeah, but thanks to our tutoring sessions, your dad thinks I'm a convict who can't pass anything but a football. Only because he doesn't know you. He just needs the opportunity, and this is perfect. What do you say? I watched as his head rose and fell in time to my breathing without making a sound. Then finally, I guess I say, can someone pass the roast? Dinner that night was a symphony of forks scraping plates. To his credit, nor did try. My dad, on the other hand, not so much. Thanks for dinner, Doc. When Addie said you made a mean roast, she wasn't kidding. Thank you. Had I known you were coming, I had have made plenty more. Dad shot me a stern look, and the bite of potato in my mouth soared. Quickly, I forced it down. The more the merrier, right? Besides, you two haven't had much time to chat, and there's no time like the present. I fumbled for a topic of conversation and panicked as I drew a blank. Now, why did you tell Dad about your motorcycle? Across the table, Mac practically choked on her roast. Yeah, cause that's gonna go over well. Dad stopped singing away at the already tender meat and looked up in horror. Please tell me you haven't been taking my daughter on joy rides on that death machine. Of course not, I barely ride it myself. I take care of my kid sister, so we spend a lot of time walking or in my mom's cab. Dad frowned in thought, as if the idea of not having a family had never crossed his mind. I guess I don't really know much about your background. Tell me about your folks. Do they have any plans for the holidays? Yeah, but none that involve me. His mom and Hazel are at a trip to Fairyland Amusement Park for the week. Without you. North nodded sullenly, and then silence fell over the table again, twice as loud and awkward as before. I took his hand and gave his fingers a squeeze, and when I looked up, Dad met my gaze. For a moment, it was a battle of wills. Him stern, me pleading, then his eyes fell on our conjoined hands, and he sighed. Addie, maybe you were right. The more the merrier. And give the season, we can afford a little more merry around here. So, no, why don't you spend the holidays with us? Don't get me wrong, but why? It's not like I'm family. You don't even know me. No, but Addie does, and it's clear you two care about each other. Everyone deserves to be with someone they care about for the holidays. But I will be keeping an eye on you too. And that means no new rules, no locked doors, and hands where I see I can't see them. Deal? Noah's hand was suddenly hot in mine. We glanced at each other, and I knew that what he was thinking. Could we really handle a hands-off policy for the next week? Carefully, Noah slid his hand out of mine and extended it to my father. Deal. Well, यहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ था कि नौ वॉज फोर्स टू डील इट विद इट एंड डैड ने ऐसी कोई शर्त रखी जिससे कि नौ को मेरे हाथ से अपना हाथ निकाल के डैड को देना पड़े. लेकिन दिस वॉज इट फॉर chapter 65 and I hope you will enjoy chapter 66 even more. Thank you guys. Bye. Thank you.